What is up, guys? We are back. Poker vlog number 7. We're in Sarasota, Florida today, where some of my original videos came from. We're going to be playing some 2-5. I'm on the list right now. I don't know if I have a table ready or not. If I have a really long wait, I might jump into some 1-3, but I don't know. I'm ready to play some 2-5 today. Feeling good. I want to say a quick thank you to all my subscribers, everyone that takes the time to watch these. Huge support on this channel so early on. Truly appreciate you guys. But I'm ready to go in here and play some poker. So without further ado, let's go in here. Let's get to it.
So I did actually have to sit down at a 1-2 table for like 20 minutes or so while I was still waiting for 2-5. Sat down, my first two hands, ace-10 offsuit and then ace-queen offsuit, and literally won $75 my first hand and like $120 on my second hand. So I was in it for $300. By the time I moved to 2-5, I had $500, added on for $1,000 more. So sitting down at 2-5 in the game total for $1,300, and we jumped straight into a monster hand, my very first hand. I come to the table and everyone's like, oh, new player bomb pot. Again, I hate playing these. They kind of twist my arm, talk me into playing it, and it gets wild. So these are Omaha hands, actually, Omaha bomb pots. I look down at ace, 8 of clubs, king of spades, and a 2 of diamonds. So pretty decent hand, I suppose. I really don't know much about Omaha. That's why I don't like playing these. So 8 ways to a flop, $80 in the middle, and the boards come 8, king, 8, and 2, 4, ace. And I'm like, wait a second. And I look back at my hand, I'm thinking, oh my god, I just crushed both of these boards completely. And even better, an early position player bets out $50. And I pretty much have this board covered right now. Could be doing a little bit better on the top one, but nonetheless, I'm feeling pretty good. So I flat call, actually. And then a player after me decides to bump it up to a pot size bet of $270. And then the player to my right that originally raised calls, and I just put in the smooth call to $270, and we're going 3 ways to a turn card. So $890 in the middle, and the bottom board brings a king of diamonds, top board brings the ace of spades. I literally could not be in a better position right now. So as far as bomb pots go, I'm actually pretty comfortable here. The first player, the original re-raiser on the flop, asks what the pot is. He says he's all in. He's got just about a pot size bet effective. I look down at my cards to make sure I'm not insane, that I actually have what I think I have. And I look at the board for a little bit, and I just make sure that there's no way that I'm getting completely coolered. No one can have pocket kings. No one can have pocket aces. There's 2 aces, 2 kings on the board, and I have one of each in my hand. So I know at least on the top board, I'm absolutely not going to be beat. And on the bottom board, I have top 2 pair. So I don't think I have much of a decision here. He put in a pot size bet of around 800 or so, and I have about 1100 behind. So I shove over the top. I'm going to go for it. You guys wanted violence. That's what I'm here to provide. And the player after me also says he's all in. I barely have him covered by maybe like $50. And we go to a river card. My heart is racing, and I just feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins right now. And the river comes. Another king and another 2. I cannot believe this run out. No one wants to show, so I gladly grab my cards, flip them over. As I show, I hear the guy to my left say, what the f***? And pandemonium breaks out while everyone's trying to figure out what the hell just happened. And the guy to my right, all he had, the one that was betting super aggressive, he only had 3-5 for the nut straight on the bottom until the river. The guy to my left had a full house on the top and another full house on the bottom. But he had ace, 8, 2, and I forget what the other card was. But basically, I end up taking the whole top, and then we end up chopping the bottom board. So he gets quartered. I take 75% of the pot, he gets 25%. And I would say that is a great outcome for sitting down on my very first hand here at this 2-5 table. I didn't want to play it, they insisted, but what a good outcome. Let's go. So naturally we had a player leave after that last hand. Another new player comes in. You know what that means, of course. Another new player bomb pot. All my fellow Hold'em fans, hang in there with me. This is the last one. But this one gets pretty wild once again. I have ace, ace, 10, queen. Wow, I can't believe the cards that I'm getting. The flops come ace, 7, 7, 4, queen, king. And I flop the effective nuts on the top board and a gut shot straight draw on the bottom board, as well as a queen, which is pretty nice, and an overpair with aces. I mean, I don't know, I have everything. And it gets to me. I actually lead out here for $50, and a couple people make the call, and we go 4 ways to 2 turn cards. And naturally, just by how I'm running today, the bottom brings a jack of spades, giving me the nut straight. Top brings a 5, which is pretty inconsequential to my holding up there. I have essentially the stone cold nuts on both boards. So sitting very good right now. And even better when a guy to my right, who's actually the same player as last hand, announces a pot size bet of $280. What a dream spot. It's back over on me, and I act like I have a lot to think about. So I hate doing this, but I put on some Hollywood, as some people would say, and act like I have a tough decision to make here. I put in the casual call, and unfortunately both other players in the hand end up making the fold after thinking it over for a bit. So we're going heads up to a river. He has about 230 left, and it comes jack of hearts, 7 of clubs, doesn't change anything. And naturally, with this size of the pot, with how much he's committed, he says he's all in. Obviously, I have a very easy call. $1,300 in the middle. I flip over my cards. Most likely going to give him some bad news. And he looks at it for a minute, flips his cards over. He also has ace-10 for the chop on the bottom board and ace-jack on the top board, which I think he thought he might have been good there. But I, unfortunately for him, have the full house and the straight on the bottom. So he gets quartered, and we take down 75% of this, and I end up winning $975. And wow, I just can't believe how good I'm running. So up pretty big, first 2 major hands in the session. So let's keep this thing rolling. That was definitely fun, but back to my cup of tea, some Texas Hold'em. I look down at King 10 offsuit in middle position. I bump it up to $20 over 1 limp, and I get 2 callers. And the flop comes King, Jack, Deuce with 2 diamonds. So obviously we hit top pair, good flop for us. And I think if I'm going to get value from this, I'm going to get value from flush draws, straight draws. There's a lot going on with this board right now. So I decided to bet pretty big and go with a $50 sizing. The guy across from me folds, did not hit this, and the other player folds really quickly as well. So no action there, but we'll scoop a little $65 pot. I'm in middle position again. There's 1 limper before me. I look down at ace-10 offsuit. I bump it up to $20, and we actually get 4 callers. So we go 5 ways to a flop of queen, ace-7, rainbow. Top pair, once again, we're just running pretty pure today. And obviously a lot of people are in this hand, but I think I'm most likely ahead here. I bet out small for $25, just 1/4 of the pot. And everyone seems to be pretty scarred from my last couple hands here. And folds right away. Chips get shoved in my direction, and we just keep on rolling. This next hand, I'm under the gun with ace-king offsuit. Loving these cards. I bump it up to $20. It gets back over to the gentleman across from me, and he 3-bets me to $70. Everyone else folds, and this guy is a pretty good player. I'm out of position against him, which is not ideal. I'm definitely not going to flat call a 3-bet, not know where I'm at, and be playing out of position against a good player. I reach for my chips, and I make the 4-bet to $220. So it could possibly be going a little bit bigger here, maybe since I'm out of position, but I don't mind my sizing. It's back on him. He thinks for a brief moment and puts out some calling chips pretty quickly. So we're going to A flop, heads up, out of position against a good player. Hopefully we can keep running good. Let's see what the flop brings. I see a red ace in the window and the dealer puts out ace 6-9. Thank you, dealer, once again. Ace high on the flop. And it's back on me. And I feel like pretty much on any ace high board here, with my entire range, I would be continuing for a small amount. And I want to keep any hands in there that I can. So I downsize to $150. Not going to be checking this over. And he goes into the tank for quite a while. I'm sure he knows that I would be doing this with my entire range whether I have an ace or not. At this point, I think he would have called with an ace-queen. Any ace, really, I think he would make a call here. I'm putting him on pocket tens through pocket queens. I think even pocket kings would definitely make a call here. Queens, maybe not. But eventually he decides to put the fold in, and we scoop a $445 pot. Man, things are just going our way today. This next hand, we're on the button. There's one limp in early position, and I look down at king, queen of clubs. I bump it up to $20, and the big blind and the limper both come along. The flop comes ace, king, 2 with 2 hearts. So, not a bad flop for us. Really great for our range. They both check over to me, and again, on this board, especially in position, I think I'd be betting small with my entire range. So I ultimately decide on a bet of $20, going to continue for the same sizing, 1/3 pot, and only the big blind comes along. The turn brings a 9 of clubs. Doesn't really change much on this board. He checks again, and as much as I would love to bet and charge flush draws, or possibly I guess a straight draw, I don't want to be barreling off if he happens to have an ace, so I check back and we go to a river. And the river brings a 6 of clubs, so everything misses completely. He checks again, and at this point I know I'm only going to get called by probably a king. An ace definitely would have been betting here. So I bet out $50, half pot, giving him a good price if he does have a king. But apparently he does not. He throws his cards away right across the screen. And we take down a $100 pot. The straddle is on. We're in the big blind second act. We look down at Big Slick once again. The small blind folds. We raise it up to $30. And it folds all the way around to the straddler, who comes along with a call. And you can't even make this up when the flop comes Queen Jack 10. We flop the nut straight and the king of hearts. It goes check check. I don't have any sense in betting here. Turn, pairs the board with another queen. My opponent looks very uninterested, but I go to grab chips. I got a bet. He says, "You're good," and folds. Would have been awesome to get paid there once again, but the way today has been going, I definitely can't complain. The action is dying down though, so we're definitely getting towards the end of our session here. This hand ends up being our last one of the session. There's one limp before me. I'm on the button with Jack 9 of spades. I bump it up to $20, and everyone folds all the way around to the limper, who comes along with a call. So going heads up to a flop. For the first time today, we finally miss 6-5 deuce, rainbow. This is not good for my hand, nor is it good for my range. He checks to me, and I just go ahead and decide to check back. The turn brings the 10 of hearts. So I'm stuck here with absolutely nothing. This 10 might be the closest thing that I possibly get in my range. He checks to me, and I bet $20. I don't know. I don't feel like going to the river with Jack high. He thinks about it for a little while, and I don't blame him. You really can't look much more suspicious than this as the pre-flop raiser. However, he eventually lets it go, and we scoop our last small pot of the night and heading to the register.
That is going to wrap up our session for today. I made a mistake on my little intermission there. I was only in the game for $1,300 and out for $4,404. Say that a bunch of times fast, but yeah, so a $3,100 day and about 5 hours at 2.5. Obviously, biggest win on the vlog so far. It feels good, and you know, as much as I'd love to say rather that, you know, I just played my ass off, I got very lucky. But I think I also played very well in the spots that I needed to. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy, but just played good solid poker. So definitely proud, definitely feels good to book an over $3,000 win, especially since I've been really working on my game lately. I've been studying, been trying to play better, be more disciplined with my game in general. So definitely feels good. But I'm gonna wrap this up, go home and get some food. And I look forward to bringing you guys the next one. Hope you enjoyed the content. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.